Right. Okay, Ben and Jason here. Today we're just talking about one of the questions I get asked quite a lot. What's the difference between a set wedge and a specialist wedge if they've both got the same loft? So a couple of wedges here. What is it, Jason?
Well, I mean, again, what you've got to look carefully is what you're looking for, and gapping wise, what you're trying to sort of preserve or create. So with a set wedge, it's going to come off with a bit more ball speed. It's going to be a little bit more powerful than, say, a traditional, more bladed type specialist wedge. So you've got MMC here and you've got the ET20. Now, shape-wise, leading edge-wise, they're slightly different. I guess you can't see from here, but they're kind of similar profiles, right? But the MMC will be more powerful for the face. That's going to give you more ball speed, a bit more power. If you're a strong player, like the tour players that you see out there, they often stop at 9-iron and they'll go into a blade wedge. They don't want a wedge going too far, basically. So this is going to create a bit more of a controlled ball speed, and it won't go too far or jump on them. Now, guys like me who have not a lot of ball speed really don't want to have that scenario where you've got this big gap between wedge and 9-iron. So you're better off having this consecutive run down the pitching wedge, or if you're even slower, an approach wedge in the same sort of model. So if you're into a cavity back, fast-faced, iron if you want to call it something, then maybe go 5 to approach wedge and then have a couple of special wedges behind that as more control and skill. It all depends on your gapping, and you've got to know what number you're trying to hit. So when you're working on this sort of stuff, you've got to have a line in the sand and say, right, I want to start here. My 9-iron goes this far. And on wedges, it's not 10 yards, it's 12 to 15, folks, right? So if you think you're going to go 10 yards between each, that's a bit too tight. You're going to go 12 to 15s. So that's how you can work it backwards. But I wouldn't put you off trying it, because they are, again, it's just whatever you feel comfortable with. If you feel you can get more control out of a special wedge, then definitely do it. But it's all about how you interact with the contact and how much you send to strike it. The miss on this is going to be painful.
One question as well for you is, obviously we've seen a lot of gap wedges, mid wedges come into the market. For a normal golfer, how's that going to help their golf fill in the gap between their pitching wedge and their sandwich?
Well, the lofts have got stronger over the years, right? So back in the day, when I was an old young golf pro scenario, the pitching wedge was 48 degrees. Right now it's 44. So you work it out from there, it's 4 degrees stronger. So straight away at 44, 45, you need to have a mid wedge from there, and then you go 54, 60 or 55, 60 or whatever. So again, it's what you're used to chipping with, pitching with, but the pitching wedges and the lofts have got more powerful. So that gap wedge becomes almost essential, crucial even.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really one of those, chipping and pitching around the green, you're going to get a feel. Obviously the set wedges are hotter off the face, they're quicker.
Another thing as well, I'd also say, when you talk about this sort of gap wedging stuff, I see the 50-degree gap wedge as a extension of the pitching wedge. So it's about shafts and set makeup. I would tend to marry the same shaft in the pitching wedge as the approach wedge, because I see that as a full swing club. I don't see it as a dinky little shot. You can hit that shot if you have to, but it's more of a full shot, second pitching wedge, as I would call it. Years ago, Ping did it with the old, if you're back in the day, with the old Zing stuff. They used to have a wedge 1, wedge 2 scenario. It's the same here. You need a second wedge now, effectively. So that's what the gap wedge is becoming. Crucial. Again, I come back to this word crucial, because if you don't have the gapping to control, the skill level to take the speed off and to control distance and spin is very high tariff. It's not easy. That takes a lot of practice.
It's just one of those kind of, you've got to sample both, and it all depends on where your set makeup is to what's going to fit best in with what you and what spaces you've got in the bag.
Yeah, and that's where getting advice from whoever you're getting coached by or whoever's helping you is saying, right, okay, what do I need guidance wise? Where am I going with this? And then that's where these guys can help you.